Hi guys, it's me, the Dweeb. I am super, super excited to be podcasting today with my new friend, Danielle from Brands by Bravo. If you have not checked out her account yet, you're going to need to because it is absolutely amazing. She catches stuff that my human eye can't even fathom to catch. So definitely get on that. And I'm going to have her introduce herself now. Danielle, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Thank you so much for being on. I just said I am obsessed with your Instagram and I love how you have caught so many things from this season of Vanderpump Rules. When the necklaces, the first episode with Lala, and then of course Ariana and that magical hair growth that she had in 10 seconds. I didn't even catch that until the next morning when I got on Instagram and I saw your post and I was like, OMG. And I was like devastated. So you're like a private eye with that
I
stuff.
feel like I have been watching for so long. I know the little things to look for, but that wasn't even that little because I couldn't believe how badly they
Right?
messed that one up.
Yeah, I couldn't believe I didn't notice it either, but oh my God, they need to get that together.
Yes.
Well, I am so excited to have you on and talk all things pop culture and, of course, all things Bravo. First things first, the photo that has shook the internet, Brad and Jennifer at the SAG Awards. What do you think about that? Do you think they're getting back together? Do you think they're just friends? Do you think it's none of the above? What were your thoughts when you first saw that photo?
When I first saw it, I was shook by the photo, and I think there was three of them that seemed to make it like it was this whole moment behind the scenes that they ran into each other. But then when I saw the actual video of what happened, I was even more shook that it became something that was really like nothing. It was 2 seconds passing by. So based on the video, I don't think they're getting back together. But I don't know if I want them to.
I completely agree. Like you, when I saw the photos, I was like, oh my God, this is a moment. This is crazy. And then I also saw the video from the Wendy show, and it was like 2 seconds. And she even flicked her hand, like, okay, bye. So I was like, okay, maybe it's more of like a boy bye situation than a come over and hang out with me after the SAG Award situation. I personally, I think Jennifer Anderson is above that. I don't think she would go back to him after how he treated her many, many years ago. I mean, I would like to think that if I was Jennifer Anderson, I wouldn't go back, but it is Brad Pitt, so who knows?
I agree. I think we're all forgetting how he left her, divorced her for Angie, cheated on her. I think it's become a bit of a fantasy idea to have them together.
Yeah, it's because she's America's sweetheart and everyone wants her to be happy, but I think she's doing pretty good by herself. And she's been married since then and of course divorced, but I don't know. I know he was at her 50th birthday party not long ago. So I do think that they're friends, but I think she's smarter than that to just get back together with him.
I agree. The only thing I thought maybe of that is when you're secretly like hooking up with someone and you run into in the party and you don't want anyone to know.
Oh my
And
gosh,
then
yeah.
he was like giving the lean in and she was like, no, leaning away. Maybe it was that, but I could be reading far too deep into this.
That is so true. I actually had not thought about that yet, but definitely been there, done that. And that is actually a very good point. Like, no, we can't talk. People start to speculate. Well, people are speculating, Jen. So you did a bad job
Yes,
on
for
trying to
sure.
hide that. But I do think too, I just love how she's kind of getting the last laugh. I'm sure Angelina's like, whatever, but at the same time, I'm sure it's eating her alive. And Jennifer's just kind of like, I mean, I would be like, haha, I get the last laugh. America loves me. And bye. I don't know.
I definitely agree.
Well, that photo definitely, like I said, took over the internet. It's been what everyone is talking about all week long. And I can't wait to potentially hear more about it, but let's get into some Bravo news. I know we were talking earlier today and you said that you hadn't watched The Real Housewives of Atlanta yet, but I think that you'll be able to kind of jump in just from what we do know about Atlanta because not a lot happened this past week. I will say the whole like Eva and her daughter Marley. Okay, so on this week's episode, they did finally get her daughter's name changed from her quote unquote donors.
Yes, I did see that he took Mike's last name, or she took Mike's last name.
Yeah, so she
Yeah.
officially has this Sterling last name, which I love. That's great. But I don't know. I keep thinking, like, okay, this is all good and dandy and great and stuff. But if I had a stalker, which apparently her donor is a bit of a stalker, the last thing I would do is be on a freaking reality TV show. Like, she was even picking out her new house on TV and was like, he can't find out where I live. And it's like, girlfriend, this doesn't seem like the best idea if he can't find out where you live. And then in this episode, she was talking about how she wants Marley to just know Mike as her dad and da 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 da. And obviously, when she gets older, she'll probably figure it out, but she'll probably figure it out a lot sooner. I mean, with the show and everything like that. So I don't know. What's your take on that? I'm confused. I'm just like, okay, if you want all these things, why are you on the Real Housewives of Orange County, of Atlanta?
Yeah, well, first, I have loved Eva since her top model days, Eva Diva. And then she was also on a soap opera that my mom watched. So I've been following her for a while and was very excited to see she was on Atlanta, but I did not know any of her personal things. I think it's weird also being on a show and then having them film something that would probably piss a stalker off, such as showing him taking the last name and adopting as his daughter. Like,
Exactly.
nothing's going to piss a stalker baby daddy off more than that.
I know, exactly. That's exactly what my thoughts were. I was like, this can't be the best idea. I know she has like a restraining order on him and things like that, but I don't know. I watched too much Oxygen and ID for like that comfort of that. I personally would not be able to do it at all. And
Yeah, definitely agree that it was a bit weird. And I think it was in this week's episode that I saw from Toronto that Kenya had left a package, and the wig and the package, that was the one thing I saw that I thought was hilarious, because Kenya always says her hair is real. And I feel like it was finally blown up that it was not.
that was such a highlight for me in this episode. The whole, first of all, her being shady the episode before and like bringing up like the at the dinner table, if one of your men were cheating, would you want to know? It's like, no shit, I'd want to know. But like her, like kind of directing it at Tanya, and then like kind of not. I don't know. And then obviously Tanya got the memo that it was being directed at her. And then she found the wig and da da da. Well, she didn't find it. Kenya was like, go get this box and bring it over the border. So obviously, like Tanya said, they opened it and it was a wig. And like you said, she's always saying, no, I don't wear wigs. Everything's natural hair care, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, I thought that was super, super hilarious, but it's gonna definitely fuel the drama between Tanya and Kenya. Like the rest of this season, I think is gonna be about the drama between those two because
I agree. And I feel like I don't know, they had her on Watch What Happens Live, which they don't normally have a friend. So maybe they're thinking to make her full time. Or are they testing this out? That was interesting that she was on Watch What Happens Live.
that's true. I mean, she did give us a pretty big move and a lot of drama. So the least they could do is get her on Watch What Happens Live. But yeah, and then speaking of Watching What Happens Live, okay, obviously Dennis and what's her name? Portia, obviously they're not doing that good this week. I don't know if you saw her, but like Portia had her mom and her sister come over, and Dennis surprised them with also having his mom over, and they had like a big come together after the infidelity that Dennis obviously did. And now I guess they're not good because Andy was like, so how are you and Dennis? And Portia was like, what? Or something like that. You know how she is. She's always like,
Yeah.
with a question. So I guess they're not doing good. I mean, I don't know. First of all, personally, if I am cheated on while I'm pregnant, no, there's no second chances. Being cheated
Absolutely
on,
not.
period, for me, it's just a no-go. You gotta go. While pregnant, absolutely not. Like, that's a cause for death sentence, if you ask me. Like, no.
Yeah, I love Portia, and I don't know why she's putting up with Dennis at all. he has got like the hot dog man has got to go. I'm just not a fan of his, and I have loved Portia since her
Right?
first season. So I hope she does better and finds better soon.
I do too. And I know nothing is all about looks, but I think Portia is super, super pretty. And I just think Dennis looks like a thumb. And
I agree.
I know that's mean. You shouldn't talk about people's looks, blah, blah, blah. It's below the belt. But it's true. Okay, first of all, he's not even attractive and he's cheating on you. You gotta go. You just have to go.
Yes,
So, and
absolutely.
I hated how he just like surprised Portia with his mom coming by. Like, though I think it was fine that his mom came by, he definitely like sprung it on her last minute. And I thought that was a little bit of a weak move. I think, like be a man and like tell her a couple days before, like, oh, by the way, I'm also going to have my mom come by and we're going to have like this whole family conversation since we're all a family. Instead, he was like 5 minutes before, my mom's coming. And she was like, what?
Yeah, it all seems a mess. And with a baby, I just can't imagine
Ugh,
her head is in any sort of like right space to be dealing with stuff.
I know. And again, going back to like, I mean, I don't want them not on the Housewives because then there'd be no show, but going back to like like what they're gonna see when they get older, like when Pilar gets older, she's gonna see that like the first year of her life, her mom and her dad were like on the rocks and her mom's heart was like completely broken into pieces. And that's gonna suck. That's really sad. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. That's their problem, not ours. But it's making for
Yeah,
good
there'll be a
TV.
great therapy market for all the kids who grow up and see their parents on reality TV, like true
For
Kardashian,
sure.
when she finds out about everything with Chloe.
Seriously, like what generation are those kids? Like generation
Yeah, the Gen Zers, I think.
Gen Z. Gen Z is gonna bring some money into the therapy department. Like they're gonna need it, especially the famous ones. Alrighty, so let's move on to Vanderpump Rules, which was on just last night. What did you think of the episode? What did you think of just everything?
I am having the hardest time with this season.
I am too.
My husband actually came in the room when I was watching and asked me what was wrong because I looked so distressed on my face. Because I just do not care at all about the new people. They have been showing them so much. We got no Lala, no James. I think I tracked it. It wasn't till like 30 minutes in that we even saw a glimpse of Katie, Kristen, Brittany, or Jax.
Mm-hmm.
So much of these new people, and in light of the tweets coming out, I just really do not care about them at all.
I am so with you. And my theory on why they're doing that is because I think that the original cast of Vanderpump Rules is about to just like weed itself out. I don't think they really want to do it that much anymore. I mean, you've got Stassi who's about to get married and who's basically making a living off of her books and her podcast and da 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 da. And then you've got Tom and Tom who are running Tom Tom. And I think that I think that they'll be back next season because I know Stassi is giving Bravo her wedding. But I really don't think that they'll be back after that. I don't know. That's just my theory. So they're bringing
No,
in.
I'm not sure either. I think not to bring up the Kardashians again, but they understand you still need the TV show to make all your other things successful. And I don't know if they don't think that. I mean, when I think of the Bravo producers, no one was begging them for like, please show me more of the restaurant and Lisa. Like at this point, we don't care about that.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure why they've really brought it back to that. I think Lisa has far too much time on her hands now that she's not doing Beverly Hills because she's been in so much these first 3 episodes.
That's very, very true. Was it you that made that post earlier? I saw a post like, looks like Lisa wants to be back on like the Housewives, but she's doing it through Vanderpump Rules or something like that.
No, that was not me, but I completely agree.
Yeah.
And then in terms of the episode, I just don't care about the new people. I have the hardest time telling them apart also.
Oh, for sure.
So if it's the original cast storyline, I mean, I love a good classic Stassi meltdown fight. Most of the time I feel like she can be wrong, but not this time. Sandoval was a dick.
Sandoval was on his man period or something. Like he was, just a complete ass. First of all, I think Stassi went about everything correct. She went to the head owner, which is Lisa, first. And then she went to Tom Schwartz. And it doesn't surprise me that she went to Tom Schwartz over Tom Sandoval because Tom Schwartz's wife, Katie, is her best friend. So she's obviously probably more comfortable with Schwartz, and they literally own the same amount of the bar. So I think that Tom Sandoval is just like on this power trip where he like is no longer a bartender at Sir, and he, can come in and pretend he's the big wig of Tom Tom, but like he owns 5% or maybe 6, but like, I don't know, very little, very, very little.
Yeah,
And
very minimal. And if this was a real life thing and not set up for TV, she definitely would not have to talk to either Tom and Tom about having her event there. It
exactly.
also seemed like they didn't even serve food. They just had beer and wine. So it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, it was a 2-hour
I don't
event.
know.
It was like not even the whole like day. It was
Yeah.
literally 2 hours. I think that Tom Sandoval was just like on a power trip, and just because Stassi didn't come to him about it and didn't clear it through him, he got mad. If she would have gone to him, he would have probably been like, "Oh, I'm so important, and of course you can have it here, and we'll do this, and we'll do that, and we'll do this, and da 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 da." You know how he is.
Oh, I do think the best highlight of the episode, two, one, when they showed the scene from like 2012 and 2019 of Stassi yelling, "How dare you?"
Yeah.
That was hilarious. And then I like their little sketch comic book that they did
Oh, that was good.
from Sandy Man, the Spider Man
Yes, the
type
most
thing.
annoying superhero.
That is what I loved, because I feel like the last two seasons they did a lot of that funny editing, and they really need to do that again.
Yeah. It's just they're such a good cast, like, because they're actual friends, and like going back to what we were talking about a few seconds ago with all the new people, I think that's why they're showing them so much, is because they want them to kind of maybe take over. I noticed that Danica is dating a bartender, like i.e. season 1 of
Also
Vanderpumps.
named Brett, which I thought was funny.
Yeah, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And also, you can't be duplicated. Like, we can't duplicate the genius that is already done. Shows have
No, you
tried and they
definitely cannot.
failed.
And I just feel like no one was coming out and saying, I have a problem with the show. It's not like
Exactly.
how people feel like a broken franchise to me would be like Beverly Hills, where for like 2 seasons now, people have been like, this is not working. I don't remember hearing much noise of people being annoyed with Vanderpump. So I don't know why they did this.
I
I
don't
don't care
either.
about the restaurant.
I think that Bravo really jumped the gun on this. I think that maybe they got a little bit worried too fast. I mean, obviously, it's inevitable that change is going to come, but I think they did it a little bit too quickly. I will say, though, all in the same breath, I do like Dana.
Yeah, she is the only one
Yeah,
that I like, actually.
yeah, she's the only one that I like as well, and it's probably because she's, like, the outsider, and she's just quick-witted, and I love someone who's quick-witted. She kinda reminds me of Stassi in a way, not, like, to the bone, but just kind of, like, with her quick wit and all of that fun stuff. So, I could literally see all of them go, especially the 2 guys, Max and Brett, after their tweets especially, which we'll get into more in just a minute, but
Yes.
what's her name? Charlie? Is that the little Sheena mini-me or
Oh
whatever?
my God, when she said she never ate pasta in her life,
Eh,
I freaked out.
Yeah, and that she has a theory that it will just stack up in your body. Sweetie, that's not a theory. That's what happens. It's
I
called
know. And then
carbs.
I think it was a few like scenes later, she said something made her look fat, and I was just like, "Oh goodness, this girl has
Yeah.
some serious body dysmorphia issues.
Yeah.
This is not okay
Yeah.
to be
She's
saying that." I think she weighs like 90 pounds. But yeah, the pasta line, I I don't know anyone who's never had pasta in their
she's
life.
definitely the new Sheena, and even Sheena knows that. Ugh, and
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of Sheena's. I've said it on some of my episodes before. She just annoys me to no end. I can't with her. So,
I feel like Sheena's a little puppy dog, and I don't know why. I can't hate her, and I never have.
I
I
mean,
don't think she has ill will ever,
yeah.
and but I know why people don't like
I
her.
mean,
Who I love, who people hate, is Katie, and I've always loved Katie,
I
and I'm
like
not
Katie
ashamed of
too.
it. Yeah,
I like Katie a lot. And I do, all in the same breath. I get Sheena. I get how she like brings a lot to the show, because she is fun to like watch and laugh at with all this like boy craziness. Like, she got mad because they call her boy crazy, but that's exactly what she is. She's the definition of boy crazy. So she definitely brings something to the show that I would miss if she wasn't there. But like in real life, I could never. I could
yeah.
never.
I also think it's funny that it seems. I saw a tweet of Jax, I think, defending Sheena, and it seems almost like Sheena's their little sister, but having the new people come in and make fun of her is really pissing the OG cast off. Like, you've been here for one episode and you're saying mean things about Sheena, you don't have a right to do that.
Yeah.
That's the vibe that I'm getting from some of the tweets I've been seeing.
Yeah, it's kinda like, I can make fun of my sister, but you can't make fun of my sister,
Yeah,
like, that type of
exactly.
thing. And I don't know if you saw this, but that text, you know how they were at their boys' night and then all of a sudden Sheena showed up? Well, they were showing obviously you saw this, they were showing the text messages on the side of the screen, as they were happening. I'm using air quotes right now, but, the real text message got leaked and Max told Sheena to come.
Yeah. Oh, yes, I did see that. I think two judgy girls posted it.
Yeah, yeah, that's who posted it. He told her to come. He was like, "Well, why don't you stop by?" And then obviously she stops by, and it gets made to this big like show of like she just stormed in, crashed the party, and that's not at all what happened. So in that regard, I feel bad for Sheena because I mean this can't be helping her personal dating life in any means.
Yes, they got to leave. What does Lala call her? I think Shishi. Got to leave Shishi alone
Yeah,
for now.
that's so true. Well, let's talk about those tweets that came out last week. So I personally was appalled. I couldn't believe it. I understand that they happened in 2012 and yes, people change and da 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 da. But the fact that we are just coming off of this Real Housewives of Dallas drama where Leanne Locken said what she said, and then a video surfaced of Brandy saying some not so nice things, doing impressions or, the things that Brandy does. And those girls got so much heat from it, especially Leanne from Andy. For her to get that much heat, which don't get me wrong, she should have gotten that much heat. And for these two boys to be getting literally nothing, I'm pissed. Like, I want to write a handwritten letter to Andy Cohen himself and be like, what the fuck? Because last night on Watch What Happens Live, I don't know if it came on a card or what. He was looking at a card, so I assumed it was like a sloppy card question. And he's just like, I gotta ask what you think about the tweets that surfaced to Sheena, of all people. I mean, and then she obviously turns it into her dating life, and we really don't get any answers. And I was disgusted by it. I said it on my story. I was like, this looks like some male power shit to me. Like, the girls get in trouble, but the guys won't. Like, I don't, what do you think? I'm
Yeah,
dying to
I
know.
also found it interesting that no one from the cast really said something. I think only maybe Lala did.
Mm-hmm.
Ariana is such a defender of these things. I was shocked she didn't come out. So that was frustrating. I think that his tweets were disgusting, vile. I'm a big believer with canceled culture that there's a difference between doing something and saying something, where things can be forgiven for something that was said versus doing something horrible like a Kevin Spacey, obviously way worse.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't remember which one only had like two terrible tweets. That okay, two horrible ones, not so bad, but the one who had pages and pages.
Yeah. Brett's the one that
In
had pages and
2012, like,
pages.
come on, you can't, those things were not okay ever. You also weren't like 14 years old. He
Exactly.
was, I think, 20, 21. So I really can't understand it. I can't understand how no one did a dive on their Twitter, why people don't just like delete everything before they get famous.
I
It's very
know.
confusing.
It's like it's not like this isn't the first time someone has been, someone's tweets have resurfaced and that's gotten them in trouble. Like, why didn't Lisa? Why didn't Andy? Why didn't someone on those teams do a deep dive and see that they had these tweets and either one, delete them so that the public never finds out about it, or say, hey, this person might be an asshole. Let's not put him be like with us. And like you said, I was super surprised that more of the cast did not come out and say anything. Like Jax, for one, he's made it very vocal that he doesn't really like anyone on the new cast. So I felt like this was a perfect opportunity for him to be like, see, not good people, blah, 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 blah. So I, I'm disgusted alone with what they said. I know Max said something about punching Asians in the suck hole, which I think is just like the most offensive thing that you can say
Uh,
um to anyone. Like
yeah,
that's
it's
that's
I
uh,
I couldn't even read them. I even wasn't even sure about posting them because I didn't want anyone to think it was anything I said. I mean, they were just
yeah, Yeah,
Horrible, horrible. Worse than I think the things Leanne and Brandy both did.
I agree. I definitely agree. And I'm just, again, I'm so sick to my stomach about it, about how Leanne may be losing her job. I don't really think that she will, but I mean, the topic got brought up, and these guys, it's not even a worry. Like, I'm sure they've been worried about it, but I mean, Lisa's already come out and said, like, they've learned from their mistakes. And it's like, okay, great.
Yeah, I'm not sure that they have.
I'm not sure that they have either.
They probably learned from their mistake of not deleting old things.
Exactly. They're embarrassed and they're sorry because they got caught. They're not sorry because of what they said. If they were, they would have deleted it themselves. I mean, I don't know. And then all in one breath of Bravo and Vanderpump Rules and Watch What Happens Live. When we were talking earlier today, you mentioned the whole Brittany and Jax and how Andy is asking every guest how long he thinks that their marriage will last.
So shady. I love shady Andy, but I think that one's just mean.
Yeah, because it's over. It's like every Wednesday, it's like whatever guest is on, he asks them that question. And I'm so bad with names. I don't know the name of the girl that was on last night.
Oh, it was June from Grace and Frankie.
Yeah, she gave them 12 months.
I know. I thought that was so mean. I actually think they're going to last.
I think they will too. One, no one else is going to put up with Jax and his like BS. Two, I really do think Jax has changed. I mean, he's in his 40s now. He can't really be going around and doing all the stuff he was doing at 21. And I don't know. Like, I think he knows that Brittany is such like
a gem,
like more than he deserves, way more than he deserves. And she truly loves him. I'm with you. I think that they'll go the long haul. I really do. I think that they'll be married for the rest of their lives, honestly. So
yeah, Andy needs to stop asking that question.
He really does, because all that's going to do.
Rude. I wouldn't be happy if anyone asked that about me and my husband.
I wouldn't be happy about that either. I mean, me and Tommy are still in the dating stage, but if anyone was like asking any kind of questions about like that towards me and him, like I would be so offended and so appalled. And Brittany's so sweet. That hurts her feelings. Like, she sees that or hears that. And she's like, really? He asked it again? Like, that hurts her feelings.
Yeah, they ask it once. Okay, I get it. But numerous times, I'm not a fan
to people that like don't even really matter, that aren't in their lives. Like, okay, asking Stassi, asking Katie, whatever, asking the girl from Grace and Frankie, like, what is that? Like, why do we need her opinion on that? Does she even watch the show? I'm sure she does, but whatever. Okay, so let's move on from Bravo Land and go to Bachelor Land.
Yes.
So this week gave me a lot of cringing moments. The biggest cringing moment was when we went back 20 years and started doing pillow fights and lingerie or lingerie, whatever that one girl said.
Yes, she said lingerie. That I had to rewind that because I could not believe what I heard.
Yeah. So Tommy watches The Bachelor with me, and mostly because he's just like hilarious with commentary of it. And he was like, what'd she say? And I was like, she means lingerie, but she didn't say it right. And he was like, oh. So yeah, like it was so funny. But honestly, my stomach was churning with that pillow fight. I was like, really? This is what we're doing?
I don't know why. See, the only reason I'm like, definitely a feminist, but I don't know why that didn't bother me. I think it's because they do stuff like that to the men also.
Yeah.
So it's almost like equal game when it's the Bachelorette, because they remember when they had the guys like sumo wrestle.
Yeah, and I guess the part that just made me like sick to my stomach was the lingerie. The fact that they had to be in like lingerie. Why couldn't they just be in like pajamas or like regular clothes?
A boxing outfit. Yeah, I agree. I think it was the clothes.
Yeah,
but
I think
it wasn't their best idea. I also don't really know why they brought Demi back.
Yeah, that was weird too. I thought
she
that was really
weird. She said her good friend. I'm like, when would you have ever even met? Like, you were filming Paradise. He didn't go to Paradise.
Exactly.
He was on Hannah's season. Then he went into filming this. So that
he would have been great on Paradise. I don't know why he wasn't on Paradise, but I guess because he was going to be the Bachelor. But
yeah, are you a Pete fan?
I honestly, when I found out he was going to be the Bachelor, I was really shocked. I thought it was going to be Mike. Is that his name? Mike? He dated
Yeah,
Jennifer.
Mike
Yeah,
Johnson.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so bad with names. Anyways, I thought it was gonna be Mike, and I was really hopeful for that just because I do think it's time that we do have like a Bachelor of color. But I don't dislike Pete. I mean, I think Pete is like one of the sweetest bachelors we've had in a long time. I think that he's like a little bitty boy and I want to pinch his cheeks. So yeah, I like him, but I was surprised when I found out that he was going to be the Bachelor. I really was.
I agree. I also really, at the time, wanted it to be Tyler pre the whole
Yeah.
Gigi dating because, oh my gosh, I loved him so much.
Yeah, he would have been a
And
good
then I really
Bachelor.
wanted Mike. So Pete was my third pick. He's been fine. There's no girls that I'm convinced will be in this for the long haul with him.
No, none for the long haul. I'm definitely rooting for Hannah Ann to win just because I think like she knows how to play the game and she's been training for this for years. I love her. um, but no, I don't think any of them are really in it for the right reasons. And that makes me sad because I do think that at the end of the day, Pete came into it for the right reasons. So,
Yeah, I mean, I have been watching the show for so long, too long.
yeah,
And it's just interesting that I know obviously there have been some couples who have worked out, which is amazing. But the last couple years, the girls just, I don't know. They are just, they go on, like, they just seem like they're picking Instagram models
exactly. They're
and
in it for
not
their
real people
fun
like they used
boxes.
to. If you look, like, if you think back to like the Ali Fedotowsky and Jillian, these were, I don't like the word wholesome, but not so modelly looking type
Yeah.
women, just like beautiful, normal looking women. And we have not gotten people like that in a long time.
No, we haven't. And I was really hopeful for, again, bad with names, Alea. Is that how you pronounce it? The girl that's been in
Oh,
question.
the one, the pageant girl who now they're saying
Yeah.
is a little crazy.
Yeah. So I really did like her because, I mean, again, like I mean, not always about looks, but she is a little bit curvier. She has like, she's not like your typical stick Instagram bathing suit model. So I really did like her. I thought that she was, you know, a good fit potentially. But then, I mean, I don't know. Now all this stuff is coming out about her being fake and da 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 da. What do you think? I mean, I know pageant girls, I know that that's what they've been trained to do is like definitely turn it on when they need to turn it on. But do you think she's turning it on for Peter or do you think she actually likes him?
Yeah, I didn't like that she kept saying that everyone thinks I'm so perfect and a
Hmm.
pageant girl. It was just weird. The whole thing was kind of weird with her. They like very quickly segued into that drama with her. So I'm not really sure. But I always wonder too if you early on as like the lead are getting weird vibes from someone, why keep them on? To me, it'd be like, well, there's 20 other people here that I don't have a problem with.
Exactly. And he obviously had a hard time when he sent her home. And we all saw the preview for next week. She's obviously popping back up in some capacity. I don't know if she's
Yeah,
sticking around or what, but she'll be back next week. That's for sure. And then, of course, we have, well, we're going kind of backwards, but Champagne Gate. So obviously Champagne Gate, the brunt of it happened last week,
yeah.
but this week we kind of opened with the tail end of it. I really don't think Hannah Ann knew that that was Kelsey's champagne. I
I don't think
think,
so either. I think a
mm-mm.
producer was like, we set up a really cute area over there. You should go over there. And they
Exactly,
knew what they were doing.
exactly.
Uh,
I
I enjoyed the drama. I hope to not hear about it again. It lasted as long as it should.
totally. I definitely, I mean, I agree with you. I think that production definitely had plans for Hannah Ann and Peter to have like that moment of where they're like drinking champagne and stuff. And then when Kelsey set out her champagne, the producers were like, genius. And they kind of like led her to that bottle of champagne because I mean, it was all Kelsey was talking about. She was already upset because someone was like, "Can we see you for a minute?" when she was about to have the champagne moment with him. And then
Hmm.
next thing you know, Hannah Ann's popping the bottle. So it was a great moment. It was definitely something we needed. It's been drawn out too long. Like, let's get over it. And then, of course, poor Kelsey got that other champagne bottle splattered all over her face, but she still managed to look pretty doing it. So isn't that all that matters?
She did. She looked, and the line she said before it too, just it couldn't have worked better. I think she said, "I'm not classy," and then it just
Yeah.
flashed in the face. The one thing I didn't like was Hannah Ann calling Kelsey a bully.
Oh, really?
I didn't like that because yes, she was mean, but bully to me implies like a long term meanness,
Yeah,
not one night of like being a dick to someone.
I get that, but that again goes back to Hannah Ann knowing how to play this game.
Exactly. That's what I
She
mean. She, to me, I totally knew what she was doing by
Yeah.
saying that word. It's like when it happens on The Housewives, too. They
Uh-huh.
often use the word bully. And I'm like, being mean to someone one time is not
Yeah, and bully
bullying.
yeah, bully is America's trigger word,
Yes.
so you say bully and automatically you're the bad guy if you are the
Yep.
one that the fingers are being pointed to, so but I will say too, going back to the moment with Kelsey where the champagne, um, spewed on her face, my first thought was, "This is our new bachelorette." Like, she will be the new bachelorette because you don't have a moment like that and be forgotten, so
I agree. She'll be on Paradise.
oh, for sure, she'll be on
Yeah.
Paradise. I don't think she'll win with Peter. I mean,
No,
no,
no.
not at all.
She's
She'll
got
for
it.
sure be
She's
on
kept
Paradise.
around for the drama, but I don't see how he could be into it. If someone I met after 2 days cried about champagne in front of me,
Oh, no, for sure.
that would not be it.
I know. I don't know. Honestly, like I said, Hannah Ann is my leading girl right now just because she's funny to watch. She knows how to play the game. She is like taking bitches down left and right, in my opinion. But I really don't have a winner picked out yet. Do you?
No, I haven't. I don't remember half their names also, and I definitely don't have anyone that I think is a clear
Yeah.
front runner.
I guess if I absolutely had to choose, I think is her name Madison, the one that he took home to his parents' vow renewal?
Yes, except every time they show them, they just show him talking and her giggling, like open mouth, leaning forward. And I don't know what that is. To me, it's an editing thing. I imagine they talk more, but every time they show like a quick bleep so we don't forget about her, but it's just her giggling and leaning forward. And I don't know anything about her except for that one date, which was a strange date.
That's so true. Yeah. It was a strange day. I don't know how I'd feel if a guy that I just met took me to his parents' vow renewal. I mean, I guess if I'm on
Yes.
The Bachelor, I mean, what else do you expect? But on regular life, I'd be like, okay.
I'd be freaking out if that was the first date.
Exactly. Me too. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited to see what we have in store for the rest of the Bachelor season, but even more excited to see who's going to be on Paradise because that show is my show. I will say I obviously watched The Bachelor when it like first started, you know, as a little tot with my mom and blah, blah, blah. And then I stopped for a while. But when Bachelor in Paradise came on, like I was glued to I didn't even need to know who these people were. I didn't need to know whose season they were on or whatever. It was just a show made from heaven and I loved it so much. And then obviously when that show was born, it got me back into watching The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. And now it's just like what I wait for all year long. So I'm
Yeah,
really
I love
excited.
BIP. I watched The Bachelor from like the first, maybe second season till Jake Palvovek season. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
you remember him. He was the first pilot.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the worst person ever, so I had to take a break.
Yeah.
And then my friend got me back in when it was Sean Lowe, and I've been re-addicted ever since.
So good. Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those shows where like you hate it, but you love it at the same time. Aren't like all of these shows. That's why
Yes.
we love them. That's why we have Instagram accounts dedicated to them. Oh my gosh. Well, I have loved talking with you. You are so much fun. Tell people again where they can follow you and find you and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, so right now, just on Instagram at Brands by Bravo.
Awesome. And guys, seriously, don't sleep on that. Her account is so, so good. She finds all the good stuff. So.
Thank you.
All right, guys. That was fun, right? Danielle, she's the best. Seriously, go follow her on Brands by Bravo. She is so cute. Okay, so let's wrap this up with things I don't get. And this is a big one. It's Instagram related. Dear Instagram, I was blocked in Instagram jail for like a day and a half the other day because I mass unfollowed a bunch of celebrities that I don't want to follow anymore, like Will Smith and Demi Lovato. We've got middle schoolers telling each other to go kill themselves and 50-year-old men pretending to be 13-year-old boys. I think we have bigger things to worry about than me mass unfollowing a bunch of celebrities that I don't want to follow anymore. So I'm going to need Instagram to get on that. I am unblocked now. Maybe if someone from Instagram hears this, I'll get blocked again. I don't know. But that was just like, really? Really? Like, I'm a violator because I'm unblocking or I'm unfollowing Will Smith? I don't get that. So, Instagram, you need to get it together. And also, hurry up and take away our likes. We don't need that shit. You've been saying it for years now, or maybe not years, but at least a year. And our likes are still there. You're not doing anything. You're not doing a good job. Get it together, Instagram. Do better. All right, guys. Follow me on Instagram at the Pop Culture Dweeb. Twitter, if you want to, at T-Dweeb. Jesus Christ. T-Dweeb. And of course, on YouTube at the Pop Culture Dweeb. Just type that into the little search bar. This video will only be an audio version, but it'll still be up there, so check it out. And of course, like, subscribe, give me 5 stars, and for the love of God, leave a review. Bye!